Hi, my name's Ian Moss. I'm one of the co-designers of Dinosaur Island Totally Liquid. I'm here with Tony Graham behind the camera, and we, with the help of John and Brian, designed the solo mode, the new solo mode for Totally Liquid that uses AI CEOs, kind of like the one in Dinosaur Island, if you also have that game. This one works similarly, but different. This is actually kind of a campaign style. We're going to sort of walk you through a turn using the very first AIC opponent that you get, which is the basic B4S1C is what he's called in the game. And he's your first AI opponent. And in all of the AI, you will set up a normal two-player game using most of the normal two-player rules. You use the medium-length objectives. This is what we're using for this. You can adjust your difficulty by using short game or long game objectives. There's quite a few ways to adjust your difficulty if you find it too hard, too easy. But in this, we're using the medium game objectives. So we have 5 here based on the new breakdown of them in Totally Liquid. We have set up this board pretty similar. We start with the 1 excitement and the 10 in the victory points. So you have some to lose immediately. You set these off here. The AI always goes first, so this doesn't change, but it's sort of like a fun reminder that you do the AI before you do your stuff. You set up your board like you normally would. So you have 4 workers, you have the 3 specialists, or the researchers, you have your starting DNA and threat and security, and then the AI just needs their board, and they don't really need, they're researchers to put out here on phase 1 board, but they don't use workers. So we don't need to do anything with the workers. They also don't track DNA, and they don't gain coins. So you don't have to worry about any of that for them, but you have your starting coins over here for yourself, and they are going to need the company tokens, so make sure to give them those. And then 1 limiter cube, or 1 cube of their color. Since we're using the Lewis Leviathans, which is blue, and the action cards are also blue, I decided to use a limiter cube so it's easier so it shows up a little bit better. So you start the game off, you roll the dice just like normal, you set them in their spots here, and every round you will reveal the AI action card for the round. This is made up of a different variety of the 12 AI action cards. There are 7 difficult AI cards and 4 easy AI cards, and depending on another way you can adjust your difficulty is how many of those you include. So we're doing this the basic difficulty, or the easier one, which is all 4 of the easy AI action cards and then 3 of the 7 difficult AI action cards. So it's a total of 7, and the breakdown of which is how you can adjust your difficulty. So we flip this over and we just start doing what it says. So when you're playing this, if they get their objective for the round, then we'll do that in phase 4, but that's the top thing there. And then they always have this, so you always go through the different phases and then follow what it says. So this one is the AI card, which which we have is, you'll look at the rules for that, so that means the AI CEO. So if it says AI card, it refers to the AI CEO and what their specific rules for each phase are. If it says AI action card, then it's referring to this one here. There's a bit of a typo, a bit of a miscommunication in what the card should say. But Tony, you actually have the AI CEO rules there with you, so would you look up that and see what it says to do there? So you're always going to try and do the next thing. So in this case, we refer to what the AI
and
CEO
so
says.
on the basic CEO for phase 1, it selects the smallest dinosaur recipe needed on the blueprint first each round.
Okay, so another thing you do in setup for at least the basic one, each one's going to be different, and there's going to be adding the different modules in the game for each one. The first one adds blueprint. So it has been randomly given a blueprint. You have also been given a blueprint on yours, but you still get to draw the 3 and choose one, just like you would in a basic game. For this one, you look at what blueprint it wants. So it wants 2 herbivores and 1 small carnivore. So it will take an herbivore. So you'll take the herbivore, it'll put one of its things there to block that space off, and then you'll put that into your park. And you'll put it to where it says on the blueprint. So you will put that there because it wants it underneath these 2 future merch stands. There's no merch stands there yet, but there will be. So that's its first action, and then you would take your first action, or I will take my first action. What do I want? I would like... Oh boy. I don't want 3 of a thing. I will take 3 dark blue DNA. Tony, will you give me 3 dark blue DNA if you can? Sorry. I'd reach, but it's very far away. Alright, so I got some basic DNA. Did that. So that was my first action, and then we'll go back to the AI action card to see what it wants next. And the next thing that it wants is it wants to pass, so it won't do anything for that second action. So because it's an easy AI action card, it passes a bit more, and anytime it says pass, it just means that it skips its action, and then it goes back to you. So because it's the easy AI action card, it passes, gives me a little bit of a breather, and I can do the things that I want, which is to go grab this Gigantanosaurus. I can't say dinosaur names. Do I need a large carnivore? I do! I should have looked at that before I made my decision. But yes, that will go right there. So that's going to match my blueprint. So that's going to score me extra points at the end of the game. And now we'll go back to the AI. And what the AI wants now is the most basic it can get. So you're going to cover that up. It's going to get the most basic. So it's going to take this 3 basic DNA. It doesn't track DNA, so it just takes it away from you basically. Pun intended, I guess. So then it would go back to me. I kind of just want 2 or 4 basic DNA of my choice. I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that. Have a lot of basic DNA. Have a lot of options. But I'm really far away from my Gigantanosaurus over there, or whatever it's called. I forgot to give people their starting dinosaurs, so I'm going to do that, because that's part of normal game setup. Ian, you dummy. So also what you can see here is that anytime they grab a dinosaur recipe, they will also grab a level 4 paddock, because they don't have to worry about increasing their paddock size or their security or anything like that. They just get it automatically. They are a robot. They cut corners. It's really annoying. It's one of the reasons that we, as human beings, have to defeat them. So that's phase 1. So we've gone through, done all the things. And now we'll go to phase 2, which again will start off with the AI action card. And for phase 2, it will refer to the AI CEO. So what does the AI CEO want for phase 2?
So for phase 2 through 4, it's follow the AI action card.
Okay, so anytime it says to follow the AI action card, then you will just move on to whatever the next thing it says is. So that is the $4 attraction. So it takes the $4 attraction. So it takes whatever attraction in the $4 row, which unfortunately is that Dino Burger, which is real good. So many open spaces, and where does it want? Anytime it places something, it will always attempt to place it based on where it wants in the blueprint. So it wants one there and there. So let's just go ahead and put this down in the corner. I'm just going to spite it. It's not going to be near any of the dinosaurs. He took my Dino Burger, so it's going to be in the corner. So then I get to go. I can buy something. I could spend a lot of my money to get these Raptor Nuggets. Because if I'm being honest, that is probably what I would do in the real game. But I only start with $15, and that would cost me $14. So let's pick up this Gene Splice Dogs for 8. And I need a food place there. I need one food place on the entirety of my thing. I should have splurged for the Raptor Nuggets. But that's gonna go down there. So that was that. Now we go back. What else does this guy want? What else does Basic need? Oh, excuse me. He needs the $2 Specialist. So the next action is going to take the $2 Specialist. If there is ever something that it can't do or doesn't have access to, it'll always skip down to the next thing. So if I had bought the PR guy for the $2 Specialist here, it would try and take whatever the highest cost attraction was. So it would... If it couldn't get the $2 Specialist, it would take the Raptor Nuggets away from me, and I would be sad. But it can get the $2 Specialist, so it's going to take the PR guy and just remove them because it doesn't use the Specialists. it takes them away from you, and then it just sort of puts them in an office somewhere, and you never hear from them again. That's what I think happens anyway. So that's I get another. I could buy another thing. Oh man. So let's just pay $2 for the renovation committee. So I'll just put that under construction there. I'm going to beat you AI, and I'm going to do it by increasing my paddock size. So that's it for phase 2. After that, we go to phase 3, which again, you do all of the AI stuff first, and then you do the player turn. So the AI wants to. The action card tells you to again check the AI CEO's card or the AI CEO, see what they want. But again, in phases 2 through 4, they follow this card. So we just skip on, and it wants to build. What is that to say? An herbivore.
Herbivore. Yep.
So do we have an herbivore over there? We do. He had grabbed this herbivore, so it's going to build that herbivore, which looks surprisingly like a stegosaurus for some reason. So it just builds it automatically. Doesn't pay DNA. Doesn't increase threat. Doesn't increase security. Doesn't increase excitement. So since he built that herbivore, he will gain 1 excitement, so it'll go up to 2. And then that's it. They only do the 1 action in phase 3, and then you get to take your whole turn. So I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to build the Gigantinosaurus over there. So what I can do is probably, let's see, I would probably increase my security because we have +3 threat for the round, because that's the temporary threat over here, which I didn't mention, but it's gross. So I'd probably spend a lot of my turn trying to upgrade my security and also increasing the paddock size on this to try and get to another dinosaur soon. But I wouldn't be able to probably successfully build a second dinosaur this round without having to deal with a monstrous amount of threat. So that's going to be it for phase 3. Let's say we move on. So in phase 4, again, we just follow the AI action card. So we pull the number of visitors. So we'll actually pull 2 from this bag. And the same thing happens to the AI visitors as what happens to the player visitors. And that is they line up to get in, they fill as many spaces, open spaces in your park as they can, and then they give you victory points based on the thing. So there can go 1 there, and 1 can visit this dinosaur, because there's 1 in each of those. So it drew 2, no hooligans, don't gotta worry about it. I draw 1, and also I didn't draw a hooligan. He's gonna go hang out with the Hadrosaurus over here. Have a good time. He's actually gonna ride it, because why not? It's got like a slide on the back of him. Whee! Oh. He fell off. So yeah, so I would gain 1 victory point for my 1 patron, and the AI would gain 2, so it's beating me currently. That is a round. What happens is if they got their objective during that round, or any point during the round, so this one is 25 plus VP at the end of the round, they're at 12, so no. If they would have gotten the objective, they would place 1 of their company markers on the leftmost one of these objectives, and they will score the points for those at the end of the game just like I would if I got the objectives. Which I don't think I got any of them. I didn't really look, but I'm assuming in the first round of the game that I did not get one of the medium-length objectives. The game ends in one of 2 ways. It either ends when all 7 of these AI action cards have been gone through, in which case if the game hasn't ended otherwise, then you will lose and the AI will win, because if you haven't done enough objectives in 7 rounds, then you lose. Otherwise, if there are 4 or more objective or company markers on objectives, and that is both AI and the players, then the game ends at the end of that round, and then you'll tally up the final victory points, which you will both tally up the dinosaur visitors. Sorry, do they tally up the dinosaur VP and the other, like a normal in-game scoring, or is it just that they have specific scoring based on which one they are?
They have they do the regular scoring.
Okay, so at the end of the game, they will get points, victory points based on the visitors from their dinosaurs, anything from attractions that they would get that are in their park, They will score their blueprints at the end of the game for this one. So basic would score based on how well they did on their blueprint scoring. They will also score any of the objectives that they had completed, or objectives that they have markers on. So in this case, I got these two, the AI got these two, and so they would score 14 points, I would score 14 points. Whoever has the most victory points wins. If you win, then you can move on to the next game in the campaign, which is facing off against a different AI opponent that offers one of the other modules of the game. We have each of the modules represented in one of the AI campaigns. So the first one is the blueprints, and then from there, I believe we go with the PR events. I'm not sure exactly the order, but it's definitely PR events, marine creatures, and then like the facilities and executives. And you kind of got to prove yourself to move on to the next level. So hopefully that answered any of your questions. I know that because the rules for this mode are a PDF, that we can update them and give you more information and give more AI as the game moves on. So anything we can do to make it clear, just let us know in the comments, or find me in real life. I don't know, track me down. But yeah, that's it. Enjoy.